Elspeth here from Vegan News Daily, and with Valentine's Day just around the corner, I thought I'd show you how I make chocolate truffles. So these are the good for you kind of truffles. So I start off with my food processor. I have the S blade inserted, and to that I'm going to add some raw cashews. So these are raw unsalted cashews. You could use any nut you like. Almonds work really well, macadamia nuts, but cashews are super easy to use. So I'm just going to pulse these a little bit here, just so they get crumbly. I don't want them to be cashew butter, but I just want them to be a little bit crumbly. All right. And to this, I'm going to add some raw cacao powder. You could also use carob. Carob powder is a little bit sweeter, and it also doesn't have that hit of caffeine. And I'm going to add some dates. So I'll also add a little bit of water, and we can decide later whether we need to add more. So I'm just going to let this pulse together. And then you can just sort of stop periodically and just make sure everything's combining well. It looks like it's all coming together. The nuts are getting broken down, the dates are getting really gooey, and the chocolate smells incredible. So I'm going to let that go a little while longer. So we're going to have this nice sort of ganache mix of chocolate and nuts and dates, and we're going to end up rolling them into truffle balls, and then we have to coat them on the outside. So while the food processor noise is going on, I thought I'd get going on chopping some nuts. So I just have a little wooden bowl here, and these are hazelnuts. So I've got a bunch of hazelnuts here. I'm going to use my Mazzolina knife to chop up some nuts, and this is what we're going to use to coat the outside of some of the truffles. So we're going to have two noise things going on, but I just wanted to tell you what I'm going to be doing. So once you hear that really loud noise, and I'll show you, the dough has all come out into a nice big ball. So it's actually rolled itself up into a nice sticky ball. So that's what I want. And my nuts I've started to break down into little bits. And this is a great way to chop nuts anytime you need them for salad toppings, or sometimes on the top of a casserole, like a sweet potato casserole for Thanksgiving. You want pecans on the top. I like to chop my nuts in a bowl with the knife. I know a lot of you use these for salads, but here's another way of using them as a nut chopper. So, always good to have a rag on the side, a slightly damp rag. So with this dough, I could use a melon ball scoop. So you want about, it's about the size of a tablespoon. You don't want your truffles to be too large, but you want them to be a fun size that's going to be nice to present to your loved ones, your special ones. But this is the size of a regular truffle. So something around that size. And then over here I have a whole bunch of different toppings. So this is just raw cacao powder. This is cacao nibs. I've also got some coconut. This is unsweetened coconut. And in this bowl, I'm going to add some of the nuts. So I'm going to plop this into the raw cacao powder for now, whilst I scoop out some of the nuts into this bowl. And I'm going to go ahead and clear away my food processor, and then we'll get rolling on these truffles. So here's where you can have some fun and get a little bit creative. So I have my bowl of truffle dough, and I'm just going to scoop out little scoops of the dough, and I just roll it around in the palm of my hands. You could do this with gloves on if you want, but I have clean hands, I promise. And then I'm just going to plop them into the little canister, the little bowls that I have with the toppings. So this is the first one that I did, and this one has a raw cacao topping. I'm just going to place that on my platter. This is the second one I did, and this is the coconut. So you just sort of roll it around in a little bowl with your toppings, and they just come out so pretty. So this is the little coconut one. I'm gonna pop that there too. And I can continue on with all of this batter and make all these beautiful truffles with, and you don't have to use this at all. You can just, you know, find a spoon and scoop it out with that if you don't have one. So I like to do it, you know, right away when I don't want to call it dough, when the truffle mixture is nice and sticky, because that way everything sticks to it. These are the cacao nibs. Pop that on there. And then I'm going to do one with the nuts, and then I'll probably just alternate between all of them until I've finished up with all of this batter. So these make really fun gifts to give to your loved ones, and or just, you know, to your neighbor or your mailman or whoever it is that you want to give a little Valentine gift to. So they are sweet, delicious, and healthy as well. So this is the nutty one. I find the nuts are harder to get all the nuts are harder to stick, you know, to the outside of this, but all good. You could also just leave some of them just plain. I think that looks really pretty, just like that, nothing on it all. So quick, so easy. And honestly, they make such a lovely gift. I have a couple of little boxes, which I'll show you what I do for Valentine's and how I decorate them, put them in a box with a ribbon around it, and everyone thinks that you're wonderful. This is a really fun thing to do with kids, because you can get very creative with different things on the outside of your truffles. Just a fun little thing to do for a family activity. I just love doing them because I get to lick the bowl at the end. I'm going to continue doing this for a little bit, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what I do next. Once you start, it's hard to stop. They're just so pretty. So now I have this really beautiful tray of truffles, and I could serve them just like this on a platter, or I could pop some into boxes or bags and, you know, give them away as gifts. So I have a few different boxes here, and I find like just a couple of truffles is all you need, because they are quite rich and quite decadent. So I have these cute little boxes that have these sort of window lids and these little candy cups. So I could put a couple, probably just about 3 into this one. So I could choose 3 of these and pop them onto these little candy wrappers. Yeah, I might be able to actually get a 4th in there. So I'll find another little candy wrapper and choose out a 4th truffle. So it would have to probably be the nutty one, since I don't have a nut one in here. So this is just like a nice assortment of the truffles. And then I'll pop on the lid. And then if you have some pretty ribbon, you know, for Valentine's Day, you could definitely use a red ribbon. If it's not Valentine's, then you could just use any other kind of ribbon that you like. So I'm just gonna tie this ribbon on the top and make it look really pretty and show you a few other options. This ribbon might not be long enough to make the bow that I want to make. So there's many different ways that you can tie up your boxes of truffles, but that's just one option. This little box, I could just put 1 in. I have these little boxes that have heart shapes all over them, and those are really fun for Valentine's Day. Or you could just use these little cellophane bags. So these little bags are really cute. They have little hearts on them. You could pop a couple of truffles in here. So I'm gonna do a couple of truffles into this little bag here. So this is quite sticky still. This is the one that is just plain. And maybe I'll pop it in there with one of the raw cacao. And then I'll choose another little plain one. Well, actually, no, that's good. 2 is quite fine in that. And then again, I could take my ribbon, just wrap it around there, and this would be a cute little treat for, just to make anyone feel really special and loved. It's fun to share chocolate on this holiday celebrating love and chocolate. So cute little options, treat boxes, treat bags, but you can get creative. Or as I say, you could just serve them on the platter. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up. That helps with our YouTube ratings. And hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to come back and check out our next videos. Happy Valentine's Day to you and your loved ones.